So let's start to look how to splice an array in JavaScript. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a very basic array here. Let's see, a constant year equal, and in bracket we just say here 2022. So then what I want to do is I want to just do a console log here first, so you can see the array. So if I save this, refresh, open up developer tab, you can see here we have only a single array. What I want is an array within an array. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add up here. So there are two options basically. I'm going to make this option here, and I'll just say here January, comma, and then we have another string value February, comma, and then I'll put in April, and I skip March here on purpose. So if I save this now, refresh, now you can see we have here one without an array and another one with an array, and we have an issue here. What I want to do is splice, and splice basically would give us the ability to add a value specifically somewhere in the array or remove values from the array. In this case, I want to add a value of March between here. So how do we do this? Now the first thing what we need to do here, we're going to say here, first of all, we need to understand the array index number. So we know this is index 0 and this one is index 1. And the index 1 covers everything. So if I say here in the year, let me just put in here index 1, save this, refresh, you can see here we're getting all the entire array within the array. So what I want to do now is just say here in this year dot splice, and then what we're going to do is we have here basically three specific values. The first value is where we want to place it, specifically the index. So index where. Second one is how many elements will we remove afterwards, if ever. So remove elements. And finally we're going to say what is the value. In this case it's March. And with the remove elements, if we would put in here, we could put here number 1, then it would indicate if we remove the April value. I don't want to remove anything, so I'm just going to put this on 0. So we don't remove anything. Then the index here, what is the index? Well, basically, we want to go after February. So this is index 0, and this is index number 1, and this is number 2. So what I want to do is, I want to put it after this one here. So on number 2, I will put it between here and push this April to the right. So this will be index number 3. So we're going to say index number 2. The moment I do this, and if I do now again a console log, put a console log in here, save, refresh, you can see here now we have 4 arrays, it shows it, or 4 elements within the array, and March has been set in here. So if I want to remove April, we could say here number 1. Save that, refresh, and then you can see here now March has been set here and April has been removed. So with this we can play around with it. We could do even adding up a complete array. So that would be also an option. So what we can do here is, for example, I want to splice, and then let's break this down a little bit more neat. So we're going to put that in like this. And then what I want to do is here in the year, I'm going to say year dot splice, and now I want to put in, let's say 2023. So then I'm going to say here splice, and the splice will be on again index number 2. And there's a comma. I want to remove nothing, comma, and then I want to have the year 2023. So if I save this, and then again console log here, save that, refresh, you can see now our structure has added 2023. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to get a new set of month, putting it afterwards here. So how do we do this? Well, basically exactly the same here. You can just copy this entire command, and now we have the splice, but where we want to put it in is now in index number 3. And then we're going to say here we don't want to remove anything, so we put this, maintain this on 0, and then we're going to copy this here. Let's copy that one, put that in here, save this, refresh, and then of course we need to do again another console log just to show you the difference. Save, refresh, there we are. So now we have this, but again here we forgot to put in the March. So let's put in March here and move April to the right. So basically it's quite straightforward. Now, the only thing what we need to know is which index number this is. And that is basically this one here, index number 3, because that's the last one here, that's this one here. So what we're going to do here is we just can copy this, then we're going to say here, enter, put it in there, correct this to index number 3, and then we're going to say March. We will keep on, that's index number 2, because we want to put it in here, but we want to push this April to the right, so I don't want to overwrite it, so I say 0, and then we have March here, and I'll just make this caps lock so you will see that it will be clear. So if I save this, and then of course console log before I do anything else, save, refresh, and there we are. So if I click on this, you can see here we have added it, and we've added here specifically the March in caps locks. And you can see every single step of this. And that's basically how we can work with arrays within arrays and adding up another array within here, or how you can add up arrays within here, or using Splice to put an array within an existing array.